All right, so we are here in the asylum. Now, the way I want to do this is basically as soon as this drops, I'll press C, I press C. Now, I don't want to press C again for the entire duration of this mission. And I want to take out all the enemies. Occasionally, some tough enemies may need to be, hit twice, but keep an eye on the C, the second ability. That thing is never running out. Hello and welcome to my ultimate bunny build. So in this one, my target is to have decent health and defense, but at the same time, I want to be always running. So my second ability should be up all the time, which is the speed of light. And the third ability, which is the lightning emission, I want this to be up all the time, or at least the cooldown to be lower than the duration so that it is available to me all the time. So this way, it'll make your life easier. Your skill will do most of the damage, and you'll not keep dying constantly because of low health. Now, most people, when they play Bunny, they use these two skills. 1 and 4 are not used that much. I don't remember the last time I used the fourth ability. And also you can throw in a few double jumps to get the passive skill as well. So I'll show you the mods, but before that, keep in mind the reactors and the reactor and the external components also play a part in getting this just right. So watch that as well, but let's have a look at the modules first. So this is the module page. If you just want a quick look, you can take a screenshot if you want. I have looked at a lot of different content creators, a lot of the popular content creators. I've seen different builds. Some of them make a glass cannon bunny basically. Some have very high damage, but overall I wanted something that works in all situations. I'm too lazy to switch between mobbing, bossing, blah blah blah. I don't like getting knocked because I play solo. I don't want people, reviving me, or when I'm doing solo missions to struggle. I just want to, be capable everywhere. And also, I don't mind using a gun if I have to. It's not necessary that you only use Bunny's electric skills to take out enemies. Anyway, let's talk about the modules, and then I'll show you the reactor and the external components. So, for the Transcendent mod, we have high voltage. This is probably Bunny's best one, and everyone should use this. I'm more than happy with this. You can try others, but this is the best, I feel. Second, the sub-module, I am using long distance maneuvering. You can use something else here as well. I've seen people recommend mid-air maneuvering. I personally don't enjoy it that much because it has a high cooldown. Like when you cast it once, you have to wait a little while to cast it again, which is annoying. And the other thing is, I like to go to void bosses and grapple onto the shoulders, and that is a bit difficult to do with this one because you are grappling into mid-air, so you can't really target the shoulder. This one gives you more distance, so you can do that much more easily. So that's why I use this one. Again, you can use this or any other if you want. Next, we need to reduce the cost, because when we are running, we want our MP to be used slowly so that we can keep running. And while we are killing enemies and we are getting the energy drops, we can keep replenishing it so that we are always running. So you can see here, MP cost here is less than half, it's 5.9. So you achieve that with these two mods. So strong mentality, it gives you minus 15.2 on the cost, and then there is maximize conservation. This gives you 35.4. Now the downside with this one is it also reduces your skill power modifier by 20%. And initially it was bothering me, but after testing it in different scenarios, invasion dungeons, infiltration missions, void bosses, outposts, I've not really seen a big enough disadvantage with this. Next we have health mod here. So max HP 227 with this one. So on this build, I'm not using my increased defense, which is something I use in pretty much every build. Then we have time distribution. This also gives you health, but also reduces the cooldown, which is fantastic because we need to reduce the cooldown a little bit. And then we have energy collection for MP recovery, and we have amplification control to increase the range. Now we have amplification control, and this also gives us some shield because we were losing shield here, we are getting shield here, so we are down to 0 basically. Then we have two mods for increasing our power. So Bunny's 2 ability and 3, they are both electric and singular. So we have electric and singular. This is the purple mode, so this is focus on electric, focus on singular. There are blue versions of this, so we have electric specialist and singular specialist. Now this one gives you 81.2%, this one gives you 77.2%. So a little more on the blue one, but this one also gives you skill cooldown. So cooldown here, it adds up to 12.2, and then we had this one, so combined we are getting 26.5 cooldown, which is great. And then we have skill expansion, which gives us range. We had another mod for range, this one. So these two will give us range, and we are getting 144% range. And then we have spear and shield. This is to give us some defense and also a little more skill power. Now if you look at the range here, I have 23.5 range. It is not the maximum you can go is up to 27. Ideally you would like it to be as high as possible, but we can't have everything. I have to make some compromises. So our cost is very low. You can see electricity cost is less than half, which keeps us going, and also our distance is good enough. Now with this I've not had any issues, but let's focus on the reactor and the external components because these play a part as well. I'll show you an infiltration dungeon at the end of the video if you want to see this in action. So with the reactor, I have a tingling singularity reactor, which is what you need for bunny if you are using the second and third abilities. And for the attributes, we are getting skill effect range and electric skill power boost ratio. So we are getting some range with this, and we are getting some more power. So we were losing both of those things. This is helping us out a little bit. So I'm happy with how this has ended up. The problem is getting the right reactor with the right roles is a real pain. I spent several hours farming for the reactors, and this is the best I got. I have one or two others that are usable. So I have this one here. It gives us singular power and skill critical hit rate, so this is also handy. If you get something like this with skill cooldown and skill cost, this is also good. Then we have skill effect range, electric skill power boost ratio. This is also good, but again depends on the mounting. I don't have a fully maxed out pythons, otherwise I could have used this one. We also have skill effect range, skill critical hit, not bad. Then we have skill critical, electrical skill. This is very good. You can use this with the enduring legacy. So you can get few, but you can see here I have discarded 10 times more than what you see here just to get skill duration up. This could be good as well, but this is for Albion cavalry gun, which is not particularly great. So I ended up with this one. I'm satisfied here. You'll have to spend some time farming for the reactor. Now we come to the external components. First, let's talk about the auxiliary power. Now what I'll do is I'll not talk about them individually. I'll let you figure out how you want to set it up. What you need to do here is target around 10k health and 25k defense. Now I have just about 24, which is good. I would like a little more, but I'm hoping in the future if I get a better reactor or external component, it will help me out with that. So what I've done here is double HP, defense, max HP, and defense, and this one also has defense. Now the key thing you want in order to keep running, and you need to get all the MP related stuff in the external components. So this one has MP recovery out of combat. This is only blue, but it's fine. Then we have max MP and MP recovery in combat. We need both these two things. Both are purple, which is good. Gold would be better, obviously, but you need these two. And then we have MP recovery modifier. So this is also purple, which is good. I think gold maximum it goes to 1.5, so I'm not losing out too much here. And then we have this one, which has item acquisition distance increase modifier. Now this can be useful for, picking up the health and the energy drops from the enemies when you kill them. But you can go with max shield, or let me see if I so I have max shield here and equipment drop rate. We have max shield and EC display time. We don't really need that. Max shield would be good. You'll get a lot of shield here. You also have item acquisition distance modifier, shield recovery, So if you have good shield and shield recovery, that would be good. So yeah, you have to figure out which one works for you. So again, shield recovery here. I wanted health here, sorry, defense. So defense here, health and defense here again, and defense. Now defense is only 2385. I have a couple which have more defense. For example, this one here, this has more defense. This would be great. I'll be able to go past my requirement, but I don't have the max, the shield recovery in combat. So yeah, you have to keep doing and hope for the best. So this one has good MP recovery in combat, but doesn't have max MP. So yeah, MP is kind of important if you want to keep running. So hopefully I'll show you the modules again. This is the modules. Those are the reactors. Hopefully you can find something similar. You can tweak around a few things, but like I said, you want your energy to be up all the time, so you are running constantly, and you're also have your thing available. So for example, my third ability cooldown is down to 16.2 and duration is 20. So 20-second duration. By the time that duration runs out, I have it up again like 3-4 seconds before it's done. So that means I'm always ready to use my skill. Now what I'll do is I'll take you to one of the infiltration missions and I'll show you this in action. So I'll pick something that is not too short and also not too long. Asylum I've done over and over. I've been using this for leveling up the guns and the descendants, and I also need the afterglow sword. So I'll do this one at 250 skill score multiplier. Alright, so we are here in the asylum. Now the way I want to do this is basically as soon as this drops, I'll press C, I press C. Now I don't want to press C again for the entire duration of this mission, and I want to take out all the enemies. Occasionally some tough enemies may need to be hit twice, but keep an eye on the C, the second ability. That thing is never running out. For the third ability, as soon as it's ready, we press it again, so we have it up all the time as well. So we keep collecting this. We are still, you can see my energy bar, it's not running out. As soon as the 3 is available, I keep pressing it, so more enemies going to spawn here. See, these guys, they will drop the energy, and as soon as we get a little bit, we fill up the energy bar. So we are still running without having to press the second ability again. Still running. Boss man here and minions here. Still running, no need to press it again. We want to do the whole dungeon without having to stop. Like with Bunny, running is life. You have to keep running. It's like Forrest Gump, I guess. So still running, and what you have to do just a little bit is pay attention to the blue energy orbs that they drop. So make sure to pick them up so that you always have energy with you. So this section is done. Moving on to the next section. So these guys, they are a little tougher, so we'll have to hit them a few times. But as you can see here, I've seen a lot of builds that do a lot of damage with the skill, like insane damage, millions sometimes. But the question is, do you really need it for 90% of the content? Because you can see here, this is a hard difficulty dungeon, and there are all sorts of enemies, normal difficulty enemies and all that. And we are not really struggling here, are we? Like, it's not like we are getting knocked or it's taking too long to look at them. They're getting hit fairly regularly, and maybe some of them require 2-3 hits to go down. But you are running. See, I'm still running. I still haven't pressed the C button after the first time. So you can see here, these drops, as soon as you get them, you can get your energy back. Also, if you pick one of them, it gives you like 3/4 of your energy back. So you're always full. And because you have lower cost, it keeps depleting very slowly, so you're never really struggling for energy. Now of course, There may be some sections, especially in invasion dungeons, where there are no enemies in between, like getting to the different platforms or something. But even there, you won't really have an issue with like running. So as you can see here, we are not really struggling. Like even these guys, see, everything is done and teammates are nowhere around, so I'm doing the work here. Okay. Into the final boss room. There are a lot of enemies here. If you want to level up your guns or your descendants, this is great, especially this part here, because they'll all spawn here in a line and you can just do so much damage and XP because you're killing so many of them. And also up here, also here, we get so many enemies. I've used this one to level up my guns and my descendants over and over. I put 15 catalysts in Bunny, trying to work out the best setup. The boss has spawned, has he? No, not yet. Okay, more enemies to kill. So yeah, only thing you have to do with this is keep an eye out on the third ability. As soon as it's ready, keep pressing it, even though you'll still be running for another 3-4 seconds. In fact, let me show you. So you can see here 3 is almost ready, but we are still hitting enemies. You can see here. Now we press. So we have about 4 seconds before it'll stop. So we always have it. So you see, we picked up an energy orb there. So we're still running. I still haven't pressed it throughout this duration. So another orb there. We're still good. Keep pressing, and he's dead. So mission complete, and we were running throughout. Let's check the time. It should be like 4 minutes. 5 minutes exactly. So 5 minutes, our second ability was up throughout. We took out the enemies. We did not shoot a single bullet. I don't think we did. You can see weapon kill count 0. So I think this is more than enough for most content in the game. And so I'm happy with this build. A few compromises here and there, obviously. And I could still get better external components which would make it even better. But yeah, this is good enough, to be honest, unless they change the game, increase the difficulty. Only thing I suppose you'll struggle is maybe gluttony, but everybody struggles with gluttony even if you have a lot of HP and defense. So hopefully this was useful. Thank you for watching, and let me know your bunny setups, because my head hurts looking at all the bunny setups. I must have seen dozens and dozens, trying to work out which is the best. I tried one with very high damage, but I was out of breath like in a few seconds, because we're just doing damage, but do we need that much damage? No, most cases we don't. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.